Hi there, I'm going to show you how you can work in rows using double crochet. I'm using the UK terminology, so in the US this would be termed a single crochet, but it's the same stitch. So, holding the yarn in my left hand and the hook in my right hand, you can see that foundation chain that I have here. To work the double crochet, I'm going to start by putting my hook into the second chain from the hook. So that's 1, 2, hook goes in there. Wrap the yarn over the hook and bring that loop of yarn back through that chain. So I've got 2 loops on the hook, and then wrap the yarn over the hook again and bring that through both of those loops. And that's my first double crochet formed on this row. I'm going to do that all the way along the row, so I work into each of those chains. So you can see the one that you've worked into, usually because it feels it looks a bit bigger and looser, and you can see that there's a stitch coming out of that one. So this is the next one I work into. So hook into the chain, yarn over the hook, and bring that yarn back through the chain only, so you've got 2 loops on the hook. And what I try to do is to always hold my crochet just below where the loops are on the hook. So I don't hold it at the bottom of the chain here because I don't have as much control. So I hold on to it just here, and that helps me with tension and makes it easier. So 2 loops on the hook, yarn over the hook, and bring that loop through both the loops. So I'm going to do that again into the next stitch. So hook into there, yarn over, come back through just that one chain. 2 loops on the hook, yarn over again, come through both loops. Move on to the next one. So hook into the next chain, yarn over the hook, come back through the chain. 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, come back through both loops. So I've worked all the way along my foundation chain right to the end. Then that's my first row of double crochet. I'm going to work back along that row. So what I do once I've got to the end is I chain 1. That's my turning chain. And then I flip my work over like that. So that's turning your work. And then I'm going to work back along this row. And each time I should have 9 stitches that I work into. So I started with a foundation chain of 10, but I began by working into the second chain. So there should be 9 here. So if I count them, so this would be my first one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So you can make sure you keep the right number of stitches by just counting them as you finish each of the rows. So on the next row, as I work back, I'm going to start again into the second chain from the hook, so not the first one but the second one, and you can kind of see that you're starting to create a wall of crochet, and you've got a hole here that is the hole you're going to work into. And also if I turn and look at it from the top, you can see the chains a bit more clearly. So you can see that's the first chain, that's the second chain, and that's the one I'm going to work into. And I go through that stitch and I go under both loops. So I'm putting my hook under both of the loops of that chain. So through there, yarn over, back through those 2 loops of that chain. So I've now got 2 loops on my hook, yarn over and come through those 2 loops, and I'll do that all the way along. So into the next stitch, going under both of the loops, yarn over the hook, come back through those loops, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over through both loops, and carry on all the way along. And if I pull that open, you might be able to see I've got sort of more clearly holes to work through on that row. So through the stitch, yarn over, back through the stitch, 2 loops on my hook, yarn over and come through both the loops. And then when you get to the end, the mistake most people make is that they think that's the final one there, but actually you need to go one more along and work into the end. Okay, then I can check that I've got all 9 stitches there. So if I look on the top, and you can see the chains formed along the top here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I know that I've worked all the stitches. And then I'm going to turn and work another row. So when you get to the end, you chain 1. That's your turning chain. That creates the height for the next row. So because the double crochet stitch is quite a short stitch, you only need 1 chain. And then turn your work. And then we'll come back along that row, so working to begin with into the second chain from the hook, 1, 2, into there, under both of the loops of the chain, yarn over, through both of the loops, yarn over, and through the 2 loops on your hook. So I'm going to do that, working into each stitch along the row again. And then once I've got to the end here, you can see there's still a little bit of a gap, so I need to make sure I've gone right into the end under the loops of the final chain, which you can see there under those loops. So I've worked right to the end of the row. And then I can just keep working in rows of double crochet, doing the same thing. So chain 1 at the end of the row, turn your work, and then work all the way back again.